Today we'll be looking at starting a new project. When you're opening up Revit, you land here on your home screen. This is where you can see your recent files, which includes your recently opened models, recently opened families, and then options to either open or create new models or families. Then below that, you have an option to switch between your recent files, Autodesk Docs, which is going to be the interface you'll use to open up cloud work shared models or cloud models. And then you have My Insights, which just shows you how you're using Revit. So, if you're clicking on buttons on the ribbon too much, it might suggest that you use some shortcuts. So as far as starting a new project, I'm going to click on New here. Now this here, I'm just seeing the out-of-the-box templates. Ideally, you should be seeing any pre-mapped templates that your office is offering. I'm going to hit OK here. Now, when you're starting a new project, there's always going to be a question. Is this going to be a work shared model or not? In my opinion, all models should just be work shared by default. There's many benefits to that, from backups to the version history if you're syncing, which you don't get if you're just saving a file that is not work shared. Also, when you save files that are not work shared, you end up with full backup copies, which are basically identical copies of your file, meaning it's going to take up much more space on your server or drive. So let's look at setting up a work shared file. So I've just opened this up. You can see that there's already a couple of preset things like scope boxes and levels and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the Collaborate tab, click on Collaborate. It's going to ask me to save the model because I just made this. So it's going to ask me for a location here. Bring this up so you can see it. So save it to my desktop right now. So right, BIMDAD, Revit tip, hit save. So once it's done saving, it's going to bring up a new dialog that's going to allow me to enable work sharing, which is what allows others to work in your file simultaneously with you. So just check within your office, but if you're on a network or on a server, this is going to be the option. If you're on the cloud or out of the Docs, you're going to be in the cloud. In the cloud does typically require somebody with account admin access to have created a project up there prior to you uploading your files. I'm going to hit OK here. So what it's doing right now, if you look at the status bar, it's enabling work sharing and updating. Once this is complete, you will see that before we just had collaborate and work sets available as buttons. We're going to now see a few more options here. Okay, so now we see relinquish mine. Now, before you do anything, you're going to want to save. Since this is the first time we're saving it, since enabling work sharing, it's going to want to know, do you want to make this a central model? The answer to that is yes. So the central model, if you're not familiar with the terminology, the central model is where everybody goes to open the file. When you open a work shared model, you always navigate to the central and open up a local copy, which means Revit creates a copy of the central, typically in your documents, as your working location. When you are saving, what you're going to do is you're actually going to do a synchronize with central instead of a save. The reason for that is when you synchronize, what it's going to do is it's going to push changes from your local copy out to the central, and it is also going to pull changes that others have synchronized back to the central. And that's it. As far as setting up work sharing, the last thing here is you want to make sure that if this is the first time setting it up, you close the file altogether so that you're no longer working in the central model. That is a big no-no. And then you want to click here or navigate through open. Best practice when you're opening up models, you always go through the open dialog, find the file, make sure that you have the create new local box checked, and you hit open. Now you'll notice that when this finally opens, or actually even down here, you could see it already, the file name that you open shows the name of the central model, underscore, and then your username. That signifies that you are in a local copy and not in the central model, which would prevent others from working in it. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Got any questions? Head over to bimdad.com and let us know. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. See you in the next one.